A member of parliament is calling for the removal of the Ethiopian Prime Minister. Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel. Good to be with you. Three main topics in this video. Firstly, a politician, member of a regional assembly, has called for a vote of no confidence that parliament should start proceedings to force the prime minister to call a vote of confidence. What is this vote of confidence? Who is this man? What is the basis on which the PM, the Prime Minister, PM Abiy, should seek? Let's start with the story, which is about the three Ethiopian archbishops who arrived in Addis Ababa today. Relations between the church and the government remained tense over a year ago, especially, but even today, the relations are not very ideal. Orthodox Church has been accusing the Ethiopian government of trying to create divisions in the church, though the Ethiopian PM says that he's the one who unified the church and he came to power from abroad, from exile. A patriarch returned to the country. Before 2018, there were two patriarchs. One was officially appointed in Ethiopia and the other was based abroad. And the Prime Minister claimed that he's the one who united the church. But around 2 years ago, we saw that a splinter Orthodox synod emerged based in Oromia, and Orthodox Church accused the Prime Minister's government of backing that synod, and the church called for nationwide mobilization of its followers. The government backed down and it made peace with the church. But church archbishops have been issuing very strong statements against the Prime Minister. If you remember, one archbishop called for the assassination of the Ethiopian Abiy. Three archbishops were not allowed to enter Ethiopia. They were banned from visiting Ethiopia. Abune Petros is one of them. He is the Secretary General of the Orthodox Church Synod, and over a year ago, he tried to return to Ethiopia. I think he's a US national, but he was not allowed to enter Ethiopia from Addis Ababa airport. He was deported back to the US. But recent engagements between the church and the government led to improvement in bilateral ties, and the three archbishops banned from entering Ethiopia landed in Ethiopia this morning. Abune Petros, the Secretary General of the Synod, is one of them. Abune Yaqub, Abune Theophilus. Orthodox Church officials are welcoming them, and people are happy that these archbishops have been allowed to visit the country. Will it lead to more improvement in the relation between the church and the government? There is deficit of trust between the two sides, I think. Still, I think the church is not taking action against an archbishop who called for assassination of the Ethiopian PM Abiy. PM Abiy's government demanded action against that archbishop, but church did not take any action. Second story is about call for removal of the Ethiopian Prime Minister PM Abiy. The call was made by Taha Dandia. Taha Dandia is Oromia Regional Assembly member. He's a member of parliament, member of regional parliament. Taha Dandia was arrested by security forces. He was charged with supporting extremist forces, terrorist elements. A trial began, but he was granted bail. He was released from prison, but I think he's still in Ethiopia. He's a very vocal backer of the ongoing protest movement of the Ethiopian doctors, Ethiopian health professionals. Taha and Jawar are actively backing these health professionals. Tadandia has written a long post saying that it is the responsibility of the Ethiopian parliament to take action when a prime minister is violating the constitution. He says the supreme body, according to the Ethiopian constitution, is the Ethiopian parliament. The prime minister is violating the constitution. He is appointing ministers without really getting parliament's approval. Is building a palace with 10 billion US dollars. No one knows from where did the money come. So he is generating money, raising money. He is spending money without disclosing details, which is a violation of constitution. He's waging wars. He is committing so many violations of the constitution. And the prime minister is part of the parliament. Parliament should take action, and parliament should force the prime minister to call a vote of confidence. Parliament members, yes, legally they can force a prime minister. They can submit a motion for the prime minister to seek to get a vote of confidence. Vote of confidence means that the members of parliament will vote, and if the majority supports the prime minister, he will continue. If the majority does not support the prime minister will have to go. There are different mechanisms for this vote of confidence in parliamentary proceedings across the world. Such provision exists in Ethiopian constitution too. This is what Tadendia is calling for, that parliament should not sit idle while its powers are being grabbed by the prime minister and constitution is being violated. Well, firstly, call for vote of confidence is not illegal. It's not unconstitutional. Tadendia is a politician. He is talking politics. He is proposing a political solution. Nothing wrong with that. This is what politicians should do. Instead of taking up arms, instead of fleeing the country, instead of hinging their hopes on armed groups, they should propose political solutions. They should form political alliances. So Taya is proposing a political solution, but which members of parliament will take the risk of submitting a motion to force the prime minister to seek vote of confidence? PM Abiy dominates Prosperity Party, and it's not very likely that majority of Prosperity Party members will support such a move. And secondly, just less than a year is remaining now to the tenure of the prime minister. Why is that Tadendia is now calling for removal of the prime minister? Shouldn't he call for transparent elections now? I think Joa, Taya, other opposition groups and politicians believe that if they're not able to remove the prime minister or topple the government by the start of next year, election which will be held next year will be a controlled election, and the prime minister will secure another term of 5 years. This is the time to stop him from getting himself re-elected. That is why they are exploring different avenues, backing health professionals, predicting war between Eritrea and Ethiopia, hinging their hopes on Fano, Ola. But political work should also be done by politicians. They should hold discussion. They should build political alliances. They should contact international community. Nothing wrong with that. They should build an alliance to challenge the prime minister politically, to force the prime minister to hold elections in a transparent manner. Lastly, viewers, U.S. Senate Committee on Foreign Relations has held a briefing about Ethiopia, Eritrea situation, and there an analyst was invited to brief the members of the Senate. The analyst works for a very prestigious institution, or he has been working for such institutions. He is a fellow at the Hudson Institute. He worked at the Heritage Foundation too. He briefed the members of the Congress about the tension between Eritrea and Ethiopia. His name is Joshua Messervey. And Joshua, while briefing the members of the Senate, claimed that there is Eritrean military presence in Western Tigray, in Humera Volca, which is very surprising for me. I mean, is there really presence of EDF in Humera Volca, Sagade? I don't think so. Yes, there is dispute between Eritrea and Tigray about border, about Badme, about Zalambasa. There is EDF deployment there. Ethiopia might raise this issue as well. No, it's not just between Tigray and Eritrea, but Ethiopian federal government could also raise the issue. But I did not hear from anyone recently that Eritrean military is in Western Tigray. Either such policy analysts who brief the US Senate, US Congress don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what is happening on the ground. Or maybe, I don't know, the situation on the ground. I don't think there is presence of Eritrean military in Western Tigray. Take a listen to what Joshua Messervey said. Thanks for watching.
Given the time, I'm going to turn briefly now to Ethiopia and Eritrea. I think we all know that Ethiopia stands at a pretty critical juncture as it grapples with the aftermath of the conflict in Tigray. And as we speak, we see, Eritrea. I think the leader there called up the troops. At least there are reports to that effect. I guess my question for each of you is, if you were in charge right now of U.S. policy, what practical steps would you take today to try to address the bubbling, really almost boiling situation with respect to Ethiopia and Eritrea? Why don't we start with you, Mr. Messervey?
Yeah, thank you. I think there's a few key issues here. One is that the Eritreans are still inside of Ethiopian territory in Western Tigray, in violation of the Pretoria Agreement, which is what ended the Tigray War, ostensibly.